Hi everyone, this is the May 2017 update for Himeko Sutori. This month I'm very excited to show you about half an hour's worth of gameplay from the upcoming alpha campaign that I'm going to release to you very soon. And this half hour of gameplay, I condensed it down to about 13 minutes so that we can skip through some of the slower parts and so that you can see more of what's going on in the game. And we are starting off by speeding through the credits. Right now, the camera is zooming through here at about twice normal speed, and we're going to cut off halfway through the credits so that we can get started showing you the gameplay. Here's a quick overview of the town that we're going to be starting in, and just as a reminder, we're going to see some bugs in here, and that's to be expected. The game is still under development, and as with all of these monthly videos, I'm going to have bugs in here, and we're going to work through them. We're going to fix them. But for right now, you get to see the game as it is in development right at this moment, which means it has bugs. And we're going to start off just by turning around and going right back into the castle that we came from because there's a treasure chest there. And that's just one little secret that I'm just going to go ahead and show off to all of the people who are watching these development videos. There are going to be plenty more surprises in here that I'm not going to give away though. And there's a crafting station here. There's nothing to craft yet, I mean we've just started the game. But we just wanted to make sure that there is everything that's in the game. We want to put it in here and make sure it's all working. So later on in the game, when you return to town after doing some fighting, then you'll be able to craft some more powerful items. And now we're going to talk to some of the characters here in town, and we're going to see what they have to say. We're going to take a look at their shops, and once again, we are just trying out everything. Everything that we've been working on for the last 3 years, it's all coming together right now. We've got NPC interactions, shops, we've got crafting, we have a day-night cycle, we're going to show you combat, we're going to show you level ups, we're going to show you changing your equipment around. We have all of the pieces of the working game right here. We're just now piecing it together to make a playable campaign, and it is really exciting to finally be at this point. So the last guy that we talked to ran an equipment shop. That means that he sells weapons and armor and stuff that you can actually equip. The little goblin who we're talking to now is the guy who sells us our supplies, so stuff like food and crafting supplies, stuff that you need, but you're not going to wear it and take it into battle. That's what we're going to get from this guy. And here's that bug again. When you have two pop-up windows that appear at the same time, then the two pop-up windows both have the same icon for the different people talking, and that's really bothersome, and I thought that I had it fixed, but I guess not, so this is a pretty unusual situation where a guy walked up to us just as we were talking to somebody else. So that's pretty rare, but it happened, and that annoys me and I want to fix it. And here we can see the camera is clipping into some of the taller buildings here. I think that this is just going to be a matter of level design. I don't want to totally redesign the camera this late in the game. So we're just going to have to figure out some way of making it so that the camera doesn't clip into these tall buildings. And maybe if I would just shut up and talk about the great features of the game, then maybe some of you wouldn't even notice some of these bugs. But, you know, this is a development video blog that I'm keeping where I'm telling you the progress that we're making, and, you know, that includes the bugs. And I want to make sure that this game is perfect, or as close to perfect as I can get it before I release it to you. And so as I watch through this, then I notice the bugs, and I can't help but talk about them. I don't know if any of you were able to listen to me and at the same time follow the conversation that we were having with this old lady standing here, but the conversation changed as we went through. So first we talked to her and we said, wait, what? Tell me more. And then she gave us one part of the conversation, and then we talked to her again, and then she gave us some of her students, and then when we talked to her again after that, then she had something different to say. And all of this is done in the visual scripting language that's inside the game engine, and when I release the campaign editor to you, you'll be able to make all of your own campaigns with lots of scripting like this. This is all very easy to do, and you'll be able to make your own campaigns without writing a single line of code. We were able to load the world map level pretty much instantaneously that time, and the reason why is because the world map level was already loaded. I could tell you all about the pros and cons of loading levels at the start as opposed to loading them in and out while the game is going on, but I would rather tell you what we're doing right now, and what we're doing right now is leveling up some characters. Now, normally leveling up characters, it wouldn't take very long, but because we're giving them experience right now and then giving them several levels all at once so that we can choose a whole bunch of abilities all at once, on several characters in a row, this is going to take a little bit longer. And it's not that much fun to watch, not on a YouTube video. Now, fun to watch and fun to do are two very different things, and if you're watching this video, if you are interested in tactical RPGs, and especially RPGs where you have a lot of characters, then you're going to be interested in doing this, and you are going to enjoy seeing all of your characters getting more powerful. But we're just going to go ahead and zoom through this, and I'll explain to you what exactly it is that's going on here. First, we use a cheat code to give them some experience, and then when they have enough experience, they level up, and then when they level up, then we go and take a look at their character sheet, and then we click on the star there, and it gives us 3 cards to choose from. And these cards are chosen from a deck, and each deck is different for each character class. And each card that you select gives your character new special abilities. And some of those special abilities include unlocking a new character class. And that's what we want to do here, because the higher tier character classes have access to the higher tier weapons and armor. All of your characters start off with access to only 2 character classes, Adventurer and Student, and from those 2 character classes you unlock 6 more, and from those 6 classes you can unlock 12 classes for a total of 20 different character classes. And what we've just done over the last couple of minutes here is create a very powerful knight, a very powerful berserker, and a very powerful barbarian. And each one of those very powerful characters also now has their top tier armor equipped and some more powerful two-handed weapons, and we're going to use these characters to help us through the next fight. The fight that we're going to go pick is not against very powerful enemies, but enemies who are more powerful than what's intended for beginning characters. You're supposed to take your first couple of fights against things like slimes, or maybe if you're feeling daring, you'll go up against some wolves, but then up from there is goblins, and those goblins would make for a really difficult fight at this level, and I tried playing through that fight just with the beginning characters, and it was really rough, and I don't think I can consistently beat this fight without using more powerful characters. So we just took our 3 most powerful characters and we made them the lance captains of these 3 lances, and we're going to add these other characters into those lances. And you're going to notice that these characters have hundreds of leadership points, and each one of these characters takes up only like 2 leadership points. Well, what's going to happen is the more powerful a character is, the more leadership points he or she requires in order to add him or her into the lance. And so these very powerful characters, you would expect them to have powerful lance mates, but that's not the case. We're just adding these rookies in, so these lance leaders, these lance captains, have hundreds of leadership points that aren't getting used up. And also the paladin has much more leadership, because the paladin's main skills include charisma, and charisma also is used to calculate your leadership points. So here's a couple of things that we've never seen before. We are going into battle against some goblins, and the goblins include some goblin archers, and also we're going into battle in a forest. So new map, new enemies, you've never seen this before. Also, we have a new music track. This is not a Kevin Wan original. This is a little bit of a remix that I put together just to kind of fill the gap until Kevin has more time in his schedule. But Kevin is going to be returning to Himeko Sutori, and we're looking forward to getting lots of original music from him. The idea behind the forest map was that there should be lots of different paths and choke points so that you could, if you play it right, you could have your squads gang up 2 versus 1, while the computer, the AI opponents try to make their way around, and so you might be able to fight off a much larger force in this map if you play it right. Not all of the hexes are connected to the hexes around them, and I need to go in and find out what exactly is going wrong, but so far I think this is a pretty fun map. I tried playing on this map earlier, and some of my lances that I had sent up to the front were getting injured, and they were really getting beat up, and I thought, oh no, I need to pull them back, and so I was able to do that. You can pull them back, and then you can move your lances that are in reserve, you can move them up to the front, while your lances that were on the front line can take a few turns to heal up. And that's something new that we've added, is your healers. If you hold position, those healers will now heal the wounded characters in your party. And also, there's just more intelligent healer behavior that's on display right now. If your characters are not injured, then your healers will then wait until either somebody is injured or they just won't take a turn because maybe they'll get attacked during the enemy's turn, and if they get attacked during the enemy's turn, then the healer still has his action waiting, and then the healer will heal whoever gets wounded on the enemy's turn. If you've been following these videos for a few months now, then you already know how combat plays out here, so we're going to go ahead and skip to the end of this fight. You know, the combat is really fun to play, and it moves really quickly as far as turn-based strategy goes, but there is more that I want to show you before we're done. There, we've defeated the last goblin, and we return to the world map, and we are listening to another new track, and we're going to go ahead and make our way back to town as the sun starts to set. And here's another bug. When you exit the battle, then it opens the HUD for exploring town, not the HUD for exploring the world. It's not a major issue. Up here, we'll just press escape and go into the pause menu, and then when we exit the pause menu, then we're back to the right HUD, but that's a bug that I'm gonna need to fix before we do the next month's video. But I guess the thing that we really want to let you know as a result of you having watched this video is that the game is working, and we have all of the major parts in the game all working together, and we're making a playable campaign right now. We're not planning on making it the super intricate, detailed, twisting plot. That's going to come later. Right now, we just want to get a campaign that is playable, that is going to let you see all of the content that we have so far, all of the features that we have so far, and it's working. And it's been a very long road to get here, but it's all coming together, and it's working, and I can't wait for you to play it. And here we are back in town just as the sun is setting, and that is the game cycle. You start off in town, you go out, you fight, you get experience, you get treasure, you come back to town, you level up, you re-equip, and that's the game cycle. It's all working, and it's all coming together. So that's what we have for you this month. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, on Twitter. We're going to have more news coming up, and we are very excited to be working on this game, and we are very, very close to giving the game to you. So thank you very much for watching. We'll see you next month.